Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kay, also known as K Day Khalif. Welcome back to my channel. So tonight, I wanted to dig into a certain topic that is kind of dying down, but I was having some thoughts about it, and it's gonna be about Kelis and Beyonce. With the release of Beyonce's album Renaissance recently, there was this bit of a debacle with Kelis, in her stance with the project, and her being credited on the project, but actually not compensated with said credit. And there were just a few things that I noticed. Now, before I get into what I think about it, I want you to all know that this is entertainment purposes only. This is opinion, so this is not a stan war. Um, this is not a stan war. This is observation between two artists. And I love Beyonce, and I also love Khalees. I'm a fan of both ladies, and I know viewers might be annoyed with me. And it's interesting because I'm kind of like a bigger picture person. I'm always like, let's look at all of the angles of it. Let's talk about it, and let's look at all of the angles of the shade that was thrown towards Beyonce, of the shade that was even thrown towards Khalees. Um, let's look at all of it. So, as you all know, Beyonce's album was released last Friday, July 29th. Excellent album. I did a review on it. If you want to check my album review, go check it out. I feel like it was a great album, and even as I'm listening to the album more, I'm like, damn, I should have gave all the songs a 10. It's a really amazing record. With that being said, this record is sparking some controversy. Now, the saying is, all PR is good PR. Rather, it's positive or negative. You get me? As long as the people are talking, that's all we care about from a marketing standpoint, right? I'm gonna pretend that I'm like on Beyonce's team. Look, keep them fucking talking. Okay, let's shake it up. That's probably the perspective, right? With the release of this particular album, it is a great album sonically, an amazing piece of work, but it has ruffled some feathers. It has ruffled some feathers. Khalees, Monica Lewinsky, uh, Beyonce was even called out from someone. I think it was someone on TikTok or Instagram who Beyonce has. She said the word trigger warning, spaz, trigger warning for the disabled community. She said the word spaz in one of her lyrics, and someone stated how this is a triggering word for people who are disabled. Remove that word. Beyonce immediately removed the word from the song. We give way for the disabled community, and Beyonce is not trying to. I don't think Beyonce's intention is to be like harmful or anything. But we are in a new age of language where on social media, language is so triggering for people. With the various movements of people, including all of us, right? Who want to be respected. And I think that Beyonce understands that, which is why she removed it from her song. Um, Now, I'm not really going to address the Monica Lewinsky thing. Whatever. We're going to talk about Khalees. All right. So, a few hours before the album was released, the credits for the project came out, and Khalees was listed in the credits of the album for the song called Energy, right? Energy, I think, is like number, let's see, hold on. Hold on. I think Energy is like number 5 or something on the album. A great, cute record. One of my favorite songs on the album, Energy, is it's a fun, action-packed record. Anywho, Khalees was credited on that song for vocals, right? Um, Khalees was on. Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of people are thinking that Khalees is doing this for clout. A lot of people are thinking that Khalees is doing this for attention. I don't think Khalees is doing it for clout or attention. I think here's how things work in the entertainment world. If you are against the top dog, or if you go against, or if you say anything against the top dog, the blogs and the fans and the stands are going to take that, and you're immediately like listed as the public enemy number one. You get what I'm saying? So I'm going to talk about the backdrop of it, and I'm going to talk about why Khalees is being attacked the way that she is, and my opinion on that. So with that all being said, Khalees was on, according to her, She was on Instagram on her Bountiful page. She has an Instagram page for her cooking line, called Bounty in Full. Now, Kelis was tagged from one of her fan pages with, tagged on the Beyonce post. There was some post circulating around with Beyonce listing Kelis as a credit for the track list of the Renaissance album, right, on the song called Energy. The Kelis fan page was like, oh my God, this is a collaboration. Kelis immediately called it out. She was like, this is theft. This is not a collaboration. She's a thief, and so forth, right? A few sarcastic comments. You can tell that Kelis was upset. Once she said those things, it went immediately to the blogs. And when we say the blogs, we're talking about the popular ones. The trash blogs that everyone is looking at on their phone. Regardless of what they say, people are glued to these blogs. I don't care what anyone fucking says. Excuse my language, YouTube. I bleeped it out. But people are glued to these celebrity blogs. We're all bored at home on our phones. People are glued to it, and people now it's the new thing to act like you don't follow the blogs anymore because you're over it and you're just better than. That's what the girls are doing now. Whatever. Anywho, gets to the blogs. It kind of goes semi-viral, and of course, the Beehive is lighting up Kelis. Like, you calling Beyonce a thief? What's tea? You know what I mean? The Beehive is stinging, and Kelis just keeps going in. So it's this back and forth. Kelis gets on her Instagram page, and she immediately just starts addressing it. Now, Kelis stated how she felt like it was theft, and so forth, and she had a big problem with being sampled because she wasn't actually being paid for that, right? So she was angry. She was angry because she didn't receive a nod of respect, according to her, from Beyonce's team. So Kelis's perspective was, hey, make sure what about me? Like, I know you, we know each other. Like, I've met you, we've been in this industry together. There's not a lot of black women in this industry. So this is Kelis's perspective, not my perspective. I'm just giving you the rundown. I love Beyonce, so don't strike me down, okay? Y'all fans, do not strike me down. Now, Kelis's perspective was something around the lines of, in two Instagram videos on her Instagram page, you know me. What about the respect? Pick up the phone, call me. I'm not getting paid from this. So, while my name is in the credits, I'm not being compensated for this. So, if you believe in being equitable and so forth, we're black women, run me my coins. Everyone else is getting their coins. Yet, you didn't come to check with me directly. You just listed me as a credit, right? So Kelis immediately started going in on Beyonce. And this is where Kelis made a mistake, but who are we to tell her how to feel about her art and her struggle in the entertainment industry, right? This is where Kelis went wrong. She made comments, stating that Beyonce was disrespectful, lacked common sense, she had no common sense, and that this was stupid, right? Basically calling Beyonce stupid and dumb for not checking in with her and calling her to get the tea, right? Now, we're going to pause right there. Leave it right there. Follow me. Kelis started off in the entertainment world under Neptunes. Neptunes meaning Pharrell and Chad, right? Pharrell and Chad are part of Neptunes. They are producers and so forth. They had managers, they had lawyers. This all took place back in 99, 2000, 1998, when Kelis was sort of getting her beginnings in the entertainment world. She was 17 years old, signed a record deal. She was young. They were all friends together. They lived together. Kelis talks about this in a lot of her interviews. So Kelis basically signed a contract, and before she signed the particular contract, they all had a meeting, and they were told that she was told that everything financially will be split in 3 ways. So Kelis gets 33%. Pharrell and Chad gets 33%, and I believe management and the label gets 33% of whatever album that Kelis puts out, right? So it's a 33, 33, 33, right? Right. So that's what Kelis said, she was under the impression that would happen because her and Pharrell and Chad were friends, right? They actually had a friendship. And according to Kelis, she didn't even want to be a singer. She wanted to be in music theater. Just on my research of her, and I really like her as an artist. So for her, she kind of fell into the music industry. They were having fun in the studio, recorded the album, dropped the album. You know what I mean? So for Kelis, that's where it started. She was told that she would be getting more money, right? Now, once her first two albums came out, she went through the typical label stuff that a lot of new artists go through, where you know they're dropping albums and they're touring, right? But she started to realize that this little bang child, she started to realize and see that she wasn't making money from those two albums directly, right? She was only making money from touring. So when she tried to bring it to Pharrell's attention and Chad, they were like, okay, well, you're still rich, you're still touring, you're still making money, right? So you're not getting access to this music though, girl. You're not really getting paid off of the music that you recorded, but you're touring on that music as our star. So therefore, take it, we don't care, you signed it, right? That's basically what Kelis was told. Now, flash forward to now, that happened over 17 years ago. That happened a long time ago. Oh my God, we're into. Oh no. Sorry, that happened like over 20 years ago. You know what I mean? So Kelis's thing is now 20 something years later, with the music industry and how it works. And this is where I see Kelis's perspective, and I can see her anger and her frustration in it. Her song Milkshake, the vocals were sampled. The vocals. It's a few vocals. It's la 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 la. A few vocals. Nothing super major to us as listeners, but to her, it's like, yo, I'm on your song. Let me get some coins. Everybody else getting paid. What about me, right? Now, here is Beyonce, right? And this is where Kelis went wrong. Kelis was just stating how she feels that it's a dig from Pharrell, and Beyonce should also know these things, right? Now, who are we to say that Beyonce knew or did not know, right? I think Beyonce had good intentions. I don't think, and it's not, of course, Pharrell, if Pharrell did swindle Kelis, he did swindle her out of her publishing rights and so forth, right? Will Beyonce know all of that? No, right? But also too, to the public, that's how it looks. Now, Kelis's anger, we don't know if they had any fallout back in the day or something like that. The industry, back then, they all ran around in cliques and so forth. These people knew each other. Kelis used to be married to Nas. Beyonce is married to Jay-Z. You get what I'm saying? Kelis has been very candid throughout the years, a little bit, about some of her issues in the industry and what she had to deal with. You know what I mean? So with all that being said, I think Beyonce had the right intention. But Beyonce at least listed her in the credits. Will Beyonce know where that money is going all the time? No. I think for Beyonce, she's probably like, honey, look, you're listed in here. I'm giving you your props. You know what I'm saying? But to Kelis took it as shade, because Pharrell produced that track, right? So all of that anger, honestly, in my opinion, was meant for Pharrell and Chad. And I think Kelis was sort of like a respect thing, like, okay, well, do you really respect me as an artist? I think that if Kelis maybe wouldn't have insulted Beyonce, Beyonce may have compensated her and worked with her. Because Kelis also made comments like, you sing all these songs about girl empowerment, get out of here. How are you uplifting women when you're stepping on women and so forth? That's sort of the energy of what she was saying. But she did make a comment. I don't believe Beyonce's stepping on women, by the way. But, that this is Kelis's perspective on the situation as someone in the entertainment world who is a fellow artist, right? So with all that being said, Kelis was pissed off. And I look at it like, all right, you have a right to be upset about it. Now, how you go about it is different. But you do have a right to be upset about it. And honestly, I wish Pharrell would speak up about it. And I noticed how Pharrell is always a mouse whenever she speaks about these things. He's always like quiet about it. He never like addresses it. He doesn't care to, I guess. But Kelis, she was swindled out of her publishing rights. And I think for her, it's not, although she shaded Beyonce and she was disrespectful and saucy with her mouth, and she posted a second Instagram video doubling down on talking about the situation and disrespecting Beyonce as she was also disrespecting Pharrell and Chad. Now I understand her coming at Pharrell and Chad. And it's not, it wasn't even disrespectful. I think for her, it was just her stating facts. Kelis is from Harlem. You get what I'm saying? So I think for her, she was just like, honey, cut it. Like, let's talk about it. I don't care about this industry stuff, girl. Where is my money? You get what I'm saying? So I think that that was sort of her perspective. I think Beyonce had good intentions. I think Beyonce went through proper channels, right? I don't think Beyonce intended to be shady. Now I can't really speak to Pharrell or all them, but it probably is some shade in that. Kelis said that he has done this time and time again, where he'll allow people to sample certain records and he won't include her on getting the royalties and residuals and so forth on that, right? So, yeah, I don't think Beyonce was ill intentioned. I don't think it was that. And it's interesting because after all this went down, Beyonce released "Break My Soul Queens" remix with Madonna, and in the particular record, she gave acknowledgement to all of the black women in the entertainment world. She literally said their names and just gave acknowledgement to all of them. Alicia Keys, Aaliyah, she just gave acknowledgement to all black women in this particular song as like a nod of respect. So I did catch that, and I'm like, okay, all right, so you are uplifting the girls and so forth, all of the black women in entertainment, which is great, right? That's something that we want. Now, I think Kelis, her anger is valid. I think her anger is valid. Beyonce also decided to remove Kelis from the song. So she removed the Beyonce, Beyonce removed Kelis's vocals and her credits from the Energy record on the Renaissance album, okay? So that's Beyonce's decision. Beyonce was like, okay, you're popping off, honey. Well, I will remove you from this album, and you're not getting anything from me, girl. If you're gonna come at me with that rah rah rah, you ain't getting none of my money. You calling me, and I think that was Beyonce's perspective silently. Like, honey, you getting on here, you coming at me. I would have ran you some coins, sis. But you gotta come at me correctly. You can't disrespect me. So, and the Beehive is swarming around, and Kelis is fighting them in the comments, and Kelis is fighting back. She's a girl from New York. You know what I mean? So she's fighting back in the comments. She's unbothered. She doesn't care. But all I see in it is it's about acknowledgement and respect, and I don't think Beyonce intended to like cross her or like slight her per se. Now, Pharrell, on the other hand, with him and him never ever addressing anything and him never ever taking accountability and so forth, that's something that I hope that in the future we see them probably have a conversation. But this is industry politics. This is industry BS. You get what I'm saying? And I just think that the fans are swarming around. The Beehive, honey, is stinging. And it's just interesting how all this is playing out. So now we're at a point where we have the Queen's remix. I love the remix with Madonna. It's so fabulous, and I think it's an amazing record. And Kelis, I don't think that it's funny because people are like, oh, she fumbled the bag. She fumbled the bag. Like, sis, you fumbled the bag. You're fucking up your money. Why are you disrespecting this woman? That's like one of the rules of the industry. Like, don't you come at her. Like, how could you? But for Kelis, she's like, I'm not of the industry. I don't care. I'm still an artist. I still have met this woman in person. She could have called me, right? She could have called me. So I think that that's where Kelis's anger came from. It's like, you could have just picked up the phone. You could have had your management find me and call me and ask me, what's up? You get me? But, maybe Beyonce was too busy, girl. She's been in the studio doing her thing. And honestly, I think she had good intention in all of this. And, Kelis, I think for her, it's literally about the principle. It's not even about the money and things like that. I mean, she's made that clear several times. So who are we to tell her how to feel? Even me, my goal is not to correct Kelis, right? But I think we want to see them win. And for me, this video is not a stan war. I love both women. I'm a big fan of Beyonce. I'm a big fan of Kelis. And I love a lot of different artists. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's the update on that from my perspective. And, Kelis is kind of just being painted as this person who hates everyone, and she doesn't. I just think that she's someone who's been in this industry, and she's been done wrong. And now later on in her life, she's talking about it, and she's like, I'm still touring, I'm still doing my thing, but this industry is not all it's cracked up to be. And I don't think she's wrong for talking about her experiences. Now, she is wrong for coming at B like that. You know what I mean? But it shows you that people are people. You get me? And at the end of the day, business is business as well. And not justifying the disrespect. I don't agree with that. I wish she would have went about it in a different way. But Kelis was angry as hell, child, on that Instagram page, and she kept saying, I'm not taking back what I said." So that's confrontational, right? Solange and Kelly Rowland unfollowed Kelis. All these people know each other, right? So I think Kelis, when she was coming at her, she was just too confrontational with it. So it's one thing to be outspoken and be pissed, but it's another thing to like kind of come at someone and insult someone. And I just think that should have been directed for Pharrell and Chad, right? But we're here now, right? We're here now, and it was a debacle. It was a hot mess. And that's my take on it. So thank you for watching this particular video. Drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. I love both ladies. This is not a stan war. Please don't. This is not no stan war. I'm just saying I could see both sides of it. And I could see both sides of it. And I don't think that she was right for insulting her the way that she did. I don't think that Kelis was right for insulting her like that. But I can understand how, for her, she's like, honey, this industry, whatever. Like, I don't care. Where is the money? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think Beyonce is great with business practices and so forth. And yeah, this is where we are now. So like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about my channel, subscribe. I'm going to try my best to come back and do more things with you all. And yeah, I'm going to record a few more. I might record a few more videos tonight. So anyways, also check out my podcast. It's called The Perfect Blend Podcast, available on Spotify, Apple Podcast. Hit me up on IG at Kday. That's Kaedayyy. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll catch each other soon.